All right, guys, before we jump into today's video, I did want to shout out Fade Me, the merch brand we have here on the channel. If you want to support what we're doing here and get some great merch at the same time, great quality, great prices, head over to fademe.store. Again, help support us. Go pick up some merch. Great cozy stuff on the site now for football season, like the crew neck I'm rocking right here, right now. And you know what? Fade me, right? Sometimes you could fade yourself. You could take it that way if you want. Or if you're doubters, your haters, your buddies, your friends who you thought were friends, keep fading your sports picks. You can keep winning while you remind them, hey, you decided to fade me. Rub it right in their face. Head over there, guys. Fademe.store. Support us and get some great merch at the same time. I get so excited every time I see an order comes through. It literally makes my week, my month, my year. Go check it out, guys. Fademe.store. Very, very proud of the products we have over there right now. All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Monday Night Football, week number 6. We got the Chargers coming off a bye, hosting the Dallas Cowboys. I have a spread pick, a total pick, a player prop that I really like, and then a couple different player prop leans to throw your way in today's video. So tons of picks in today's video that I'm very excited for. But guys, before we get into that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. You guys have been crushing it on the subscribes, the likes, the engagement to start the NFL season. I guess I can't really say it's the start of the NFL season anymore, but nonetheless, this NFL season, you guys have been super supportive, and I cannot even begin to thank you enough. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're new. Hit that like button, smash that like button. Let's run it up, and we can get into today's picks. Like I said, spread pick, total pick, player prop, and then a few different leans that I want to get into as well. Right now, the Chargers sitting at 2.5-point dogs at home on this Monday night. The total is sitting at 51. Now let's start with the spread pick first. I am leaning towards, and I guess it's not even a lean at this point, I am locking in as a final play the Cowboys here minus the 2.5 points. If this was at 3.5, it may be a pass. So gives you kind of that margin there at least, because I do think Cowboys inside a field goal. I like the spot for them. I think a lot of people are going to be on the Chargers because the Cowboys look like dog doo-doo against the 49ers last time out. They lost 42-10. The Cowboys still 3-2 against the spread here on the season. The Chargers 1-2-1. They just got their first 2 wins prior to the bye there against the Minnesota Vikings and the Las Vegas Raiders. Like, I don't think that I put too much weight into those teams. The defenses aren't all that great. This is definitely, at least in my opinion, I think a lot of people are starting to maybe not believe in this Dallas defense, but in my opinion, this is still a good defense. I think this is obviously the best defense that the Chargers have had to go up against to date here. They played Miami, not a great defense. Mediocre defense, right? Tennessee, not really sure what they are defensively. They're always good defensively, seemingly, year in and year out, but looking at the DVOA numbers and everything like that, they're not the best of this season. And then Minnesota and Las Vegas, those defenses aren't anything to write home about either. So they are going up against a good defense here. This Cowboys defense, ranks 8th in total DVOA in terms of, where they specialize to. It is against the pass. So I'm thinking that kind of negates what we're looking at from a Chargers offensive perspective. Those either cancel out, or I think the Cowboys get the better half there, because the Chargers, though Eckler's been out, he's coming back, have been a pass-heavy team here, ranking 8th in pass DVOA, middle of the road at 15th in rush DVOA. So yes, I do know that, Eckler coming back may change things, but still, this is a team that so far this season has relied on Herbert, and he's been pretty good. He's been up to the task. Outside of winning games, though, he's been up to the task, and he hasn't really looked all that poor. He's thrown for, I believe it's 7 touchdowns, only to 1 interception this year as well, again, through 4 weeks as he had a bye. But nonetheless, I do think that this Cowboys defense, I'm almost giving them one more chance to show the world in prime time under the spotlights that they are a good defense. Like, that 49ers game looked like the defense really wasn't as good as we thought, and I give credit to the people saying that, because when you think about the defenses that are the offenses that the Cowboys have had to go up against, and this is going to sound like I'm talking against them, but I'm just being real. Obviously, they start off the season with the Giants. We thought the Giants were better than they were. They stink. Then they play the Jets. Then they play the Cardinals, who had a good game against them, which is scary. And then they play the Patriots. Like, are you kidding? Those 4 teams, are you kidding? So I give credit to the people saying this is a fake defense of the Cowboys. You have some ammo on your side. But this is still one of the better pass rushing defenses, still one of the better pass defense, still one of the better comprised in terms of personnel defenses out there. So I'm willing to kind of say, okay, yes, they did what they were supposed to do against bad teams. San Francisco is that good. I'm not, taking anything away from the Cowboys in that game in terms of defensively, because the 49ers are just that good. So, yeah, long-winded here. I hear what people are saying and why they might be going Chargers here, but I think this is going to be a defensive game where Dallas kind of proves yet again that their defense is very, very good, from the defensive line to the middle to the secondary. Like, this is a very good defense. They have the talent, the personnel, the scheme that I think is going to mesh really well, or, clash really well against this Chargers team. Now, I'm preaching defense here. So where do you think I'm going with the total, right? I think that this is a great spot for the under. 51 just seems a little bit too high. To put it in perspective, again, like I said, 3.5 would probably make me pass on the spread. I like it because we're getting under a field goal. If this was 44.5, 45.5, so one touchdown less type of thing, it probably would be a pass. So I don't think this necessarily finishes as like a 17-10 type game. It probably gets up there because the Chargers do have a good offense, and to some degree Dak has looked passable this season, right? And their offense has clicked at times, not necessarily in the red zone, but at times. So I don't think this is going to be a sluggish game, but I do think that this is just a total that is a little bit too high. Totally could see this being in the early 40s type of thing as well, which is kind of where these games have come out as they've played recently here. So, I mean, the only recent game we have to go off of was back 2 years ago, back in 2021. Cowboys won that one 20-17. Obviously, a way different Chargers team. Both teams are different, but nonetheless, coming off of the last time they played, it was an under, and you still kind of have the same theme of the teams, right? Dallas, a defensive squad. Chargers always kind of a run and gun type team. So I think it's a similar spot there. But again, maybe a few more points because that Chargers offense is so much better now. But give me the under in this one. Like I said, Dallas, such a good defensive team, and they specialize against the pass, which so far that's where the Chargers have excelled to some degree. And I do think that the Cowboys, if they can negate that, the Chargers still might move the ball, just not at the same pace, not the same big chunk plays or anything like that. So I'll take the spread here, -2.5 on the away team, the Cowboys, and the under 51. Those are two plays that I'm locking in right now anyways. But we do have some leans. Actually, we do have a final player prop that I want to jump into as well. And then we do have some leans here. So let's go ahead and jump into the player prop. But before we do, I do want to talk to you guys about Sleeper. Speaking of player props, if you don't know what Sleeper is, it's an amazing DFS pick'em app. All you have to do is combine 2 to 8 players in a slip. The more you get right, obviously, the more you get paid out. I love 2-mans over there because each and every Sleeper pick has its own dynamic payout multiplier. They don't follow the fixed payout structure like all the other pick'em apps out there. It's not just based at 3 times if you go 2 for 2, right? No, you go 2 for 2, you can win 4 or 5 depending on the picks that you put in there. And they're dropping promo squares all the time. If you want to check out Sleeper, use my link in the pinned comment. 100% of your first deposit matched. 100%. You put in $100, they'll say, hey, here's a free $100. You'll have a new account balance of $200. It's a no-brainer. Go check out Sleeper, guys. I've been using this thing every single day for pretty much the whole baseball season, now into the football season. I'm loving Sleeper. Very excited for NHL, NBA too. So go check it out. You will not regret it. If it's legal in your state, you're missing out if you are not using. Now let's go ahead and jump into the player props here. First one we're looking at is going to be Justin Herbert. And by the way, we're using Outlier to go through these player props. I also have a link in the pinned comment for that if you do want to check out this tool. Pretty much a one-stop shop for your betting research needs, especially in the player prop category. So go check out Outlier, guys. 7 days free. Link in the pinned comment. Now you got 2 reasons to go check out the pinned comment. But I'm looking at Justin Herbert over 0.5 interceptions here. It's plus 100 on pretty much all sports books here. If you have the DVIG'd odds based on Pinnacle, it's minus 121. So there is some EV here, 7.36% VIG there. So I think this is a good spot, one, from the bankroll perspective and just the expected value. But nonetheless, I do think, Herbert is one. Look at this. He's due for an interception. He threw one last week against a Las Vegas Raiders team that isn't all that crazy in terms of what we're looking at defensively, right? But we have a Cowboys team that loves to hurry the quarterback, make the quarterback make bad decisions. And Justin Herbert, his completion percentage jumps from, I believe, 71% down to 42% when he is hurried. And looking into it, wouldn't you know it, this one interception was when he was hurried this season. The Cowboys, one of the better teams at getting after the quarterback. So this kind of lines up perfectly with my thought process of, they're going to make things difficult for Herbert. He could pass for 2 or 3 touchdowns or something and still throw an interception. You know what I mean? Like if they want to sling it, or if the Cowboys get up, you know, they're kind of owning that time possession. Maybe Herbert's like, okay, we got to step on the gas a little. He starts to up the pace and tempo. I just like that money too. Plus 100 for him to throw an interception. He hasn't been like historically the best decision maker, right? And they like to take shots. The fact that he's through 4 weeks, well, 5 technically with the bye, but 4 weeks of gameplay, right? And has only thrown 1 interception tells me he's going up against the best defense he's faced so far, a team in which I think that they could kind of pull an interception out of him here. In terms of where they rank for the Cowboys too, in terms of causing interceptions, they're averaging 1.4 interceptions against quarterbacks this season as well. So they rank 5th in terms of interceptions. And though it's just the 1 interception that Herbert's thrown, like I said, it was in while he was being hurried, and he's actually 6th in hurried interceptions here. So it's just 1, but again, Cowboys kind of forcing people into that. So give me him for 1 interception. Then we can jump back into outlier here for a couple leans. So keep an eye on the pinned comment, guys, to see if we roll with either one of these plays. But I'm going to kind of give you my thoughts on a few spots here. And I'm going to kind of walk through outliers so you guys can see some of the tool for yourself and how easy it is to build these player prop slips and just straight up player props as well. But I like some Tony Pollard action in this game as well. You could see the Chargers are 32nd in receiving yards, but they actually rank 1st when it comes to, we can go to it here using FTN, running backs per game. If you go to receptions, which we don't have a Pollard reception line, they're averaging 6.8 receptions allowed to running backs this season. Receiving yards, they're in 2nd here, only behind the crappy defense of the Bears. Like, there is some value here in looking at some Tony Pollard passing props. I also don't mind rushing plus receiving because they're not a very good rush defense against running backs either. Like, this is a bad Chargers defense. They're going to win games this year, and they might win a handful, obviously. They only have 2 so far, but they might win a handful just based on their offense. The defense isn't there. Now, this line is a little sharp. It's a little high for me, 95.5, but I still do not hate it there. But I am going to be looking at his receptions and receiving yards. I think it's a good spot. Now, keep an eye on the pinned comment to see if or what we roll with when it comes to Tony Pollard. And the next one is a guy that I don't think has totally gone off yet. You can make the argument that, yes, he had his best game of the year there, 143 receiving yards on 11 receptions against the Jets. That's more of an outlier. CeeDee Lamb is yet to kind of go off. And again, jumping back to where we see this Chargers defense rank, like this is how bad defensively they can be. Receptions, yes, they're not all that high, but still, as wide receivers overall, they're averaging 14.8 receptions there. CeeDee Lamb getting a chunk of the targets, right? 22% of the targets on this Dallas team. So that looks good right off the bat. And again, they rank, what is that, the 7th or 8th team. You go into receptions allowed. They're right up there again, right in the top 10. TDs here, which is interesting. 3rd most touchdowns allowed to wide receivers. They just don't really have, I guess, what you'd want to contain wide receivers now. I do think that I'm waiting for CeeDee Lamb to have another monstrosity of a type of a game. I don't think that this is like a, wide receivers overall. I think that you're going to look at a team that throws to their number 1 guy like the Cowboys here. So 21.5, I like that. I've seen some people on Twitter and whatnot looking at Michael Gallup, Brandon Cooks because of it. I just don't love these numbers here in terms of target percentage. I think you want to go to the guy that's gonna get fed there. So those are 2 leans. Again, keep an eye on the pinned comment to see what we roll with, but clearly I'm pretty heavy on Dallas in this game. If it doesn't go Dallas's way, then we might have some trouble here. But let's jump back into outlier. You guys, if you do want to kind of see how it looks, just really quick. This is the player prop screen. These are all the games. If you want to filter to just the game we're talking about here, you could sort by last 10 head-to-head 2023, which is this season, right? And go through and look at all the hit rates. Again, you have, multiple players here. These are all the player props that are offered. Cameron Dicker, right? Here we go. Here's his extra points. You can go down, see team to team, defensively, offensively, that type of thing, guys. It is a really cool tool. But that is going to wrap it up for me today. Again, we have 3 final plays right now. Dallas minus 2.5, under 51, and then Justin Herbert to throw 1 interception for plus 100. And then I'm leaning some Pollard and CeeDee Lamb props. Still trying to identify some value on the Charger side of things as well. So keep an eye on the pinned comment, as always, for any updates or any changes or anything like that. So keep an eye on the pinned comment. I also post the odds and where we get the bet for the best value, so you guys know that as well. But yeah, guys, if you're still watching right now, go ahead and comment 13. Is it a lucky number? No, I don't think so, because we're going to have a good video. Comment 13 if you are still watching. Let me know your favorite plays in the comments as well, and like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. You guys have been too kind to me as of late. You guys really are, you know. The supporters out there are amazing. Screw the Guppies. The Guppies ain't no match for us. But nonetheless, guys, let's go ahead and have a good Monday Night Football night. Hit that like button, subscribe button, comment 13, and we'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.